Previously on Ballz.
You say good afternoon, sir. Nice to chat to you. Looking very nice and relaxed and warm there. Has the rain stopped?
It's stopped for a while. We've had an awful deluge of rain over this last couple of months, and it poured down yesterday. Woke up this morning, the sun was shining, and they say we've got one decent day today, and then the rain's coming back for tomorrow. So typically British summer.
They better get the entire England Test series in tomorrow then, before the rain comes back, because everyone's worried it's going to just be washed out by rain. You obviously know that Man U are in the country at the moment.
Yes, I think that they arrived on Monday, didn't they? I think they're playing. Is it Amazulu down in Durban tomorrow? Their first game.
Yes. Amazulu and then Ajax in Cape Town after that. So got the two warm-up games. Rio's here and a couple of their stars, some of the younger guys as well.
Michael Carrick.
Nothing much to read into the pre-season games. Obviously, just to give them a little bit of a chance to expose the brand and give the guys a bit of a run. But it means when these things happen. I was watching Arsenal in action in that competition up at Southampton at St Mary's this weekend, and they were playing some of their youngsters. So that means that the English Premier League is almost on top of us, and it's time to get all excited about things and watching the transfer window very closely, Gary. And who better to sort of give us an indication of who's going where, and also who might be going where, what the talk is over there about certain players, and especially with big clubs, than yourself. So it seems like a fairly transfer market this off-season.
Yes, it's been pretty active so far, but you can be sure that there's a lot of things going to be happening these next few weeks. Actually, a lot of the players are still not back from the players that play in the European Championships. They're not back at their clubs yet, so most of those guys will be back probably at the beginning of next week. Our team reported back for training last Monday, so they fly out to America on Saturday for over there, playing 3 games and playing against LA, playing against Liverpool in America. So yes, it's that time of the season, and I would say that mad time of the season, because there's just so much speculation about players coming and going. What I say to fans at this stage of the season is basically read all the rumours, don't read too much into it. A lot of the things won't even happen. During my 16 years at Tottenham, I read on 10 occasions I'd been transferred, and I didn't. So that's the way things work. A lot of these transfers are actually played out through the media. So players and agents and clubs will all put stories out in the media, trying to get reactions and things. So it's a mad time this season. The agents, it's their fun time for them. They're like children in a sweet shop at the moment, trying to get their players moving around the world. But as I say, it's for any supporter of any club, you wait until the season starts. That will be generally when the clubs will have the players they want for the coming season. Yes, it's a big transfer so far. Arsenal brought in Podolski. I think that's a great signing for them. Yeah. Man United have been pretty quiet. They got a go 15, 17 million, I think it was.
But that's more a commercial move, do you think, than more than anything else?
It's a lot of money for a commercial move.
Do you reckon?
But again, having said that, as we know, Manchester United's branding globally is, you mentioned it just now, 2.2 billion worth. They are a huge club, but they've been pretty quiet. I mean, of course, the biggest team that haven't done anything are the champions, Man City. They haven't done anything as yet. Nobody has joined the club. A few players have left.
Well, they're just waiting for Arsenal, Gary. They're just waiting to see what Arsenal are doing, and then they'll just help themselves, like they always do every year.
Well, I mean, it's. I think Van Persie's is the one they really want. I think they've obviously been dangling a few stories, and certainly he's the player that's on top of their list. And Van Persie's made it clear, I think, that he doesn't want to remain at the Emirates, so that we could well see that one coming to fruition in the next couple of weeks. Oscar, again, Chelsea after Oscar and Cavani, but they're going to have to pay big money for that. They're talking about 60, 70 million pounds to get the both of those two. Cavani is demanding £150,000 a week if he comes over here, so that could be a stumbling block. Having said that, is there any stumbling block for Mr. Abramovich?
I'll get to the point on those big clubs in just a moment, and this sort of state of their finances. We all know that they've got some guys with a lot of money financing these clubs, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, what it means to them splashing out more money for players again. let's just go back to the and obviously what you said. I mean, this is the most dangerous machine in transfer window time. This iPhone and these Twitter accounts, because that depresses me every day when you
got
start.
Mine here too. Not buzzing at the moment though.
Oh, Twitter just goes mad. And then yesterday I suddenly stumble on there's a chart that Arsenal swapping Walcott for people like Carroll and one of the other. I mean, is that happening or?
I think they want to offload Carroll. Really, the best thing that Carroll could do is to go back to Newcastle. For me, I think he certainly made his mark up there, and that to me would seemingly be the best place for him to go back to if he's got a chance of a move. I think Liverpool have made it clear that they'd be happy for a move to take place. They like Walcott, but whether that will come to fruition, that remains to be seen. It's a strange one because obviously last season Arsenal lost Fabregas, they lost Nasri. If they lose Van Persie, if they lose Walcott, if they start to lose players like that, then it's going to be very, very tough for Arsene Wenger to have any kind of challenge this season. So I'm sure that Arsene Wenger, to me, I think he's one of the best managers we've ever had in the Premiership. And I'm sure that he'll be doing everything he can to keep his players. He's already said that he's done everything to try and keep Van Persie. But as you mentioned earlier, when there are people like Man City sitting in the wings and with basically an open checkbook to write the account out, then money will talk.
How dangerous is this game that some of these clubs are playing with, like as you say, the open checkbook? We know they come in with sort of backers that have got a lot of money but invested in different places. There's talk that some of these clubs, they're basically servicing debt at the moment, and these guys are basically servicing their debt. In how much trouble could they find themselves? I mean, are these clubs sort of at risk of ending up like in serious debt, or are they in serious debt, and can they afford to keep splashing out money and buying their teams? I'm talking about your Man Cities and your Chelseas in particular, who have obviously just basically created checkbook teams.
Yeah, it would be, of course, if the owners pulled out, then that would be a huge loss, obviously financially for the clubs. So they're totally funded by their owners, obviously Mr. Abramovich and Sheikh Mansour, obviously two very, very wealthy gentlemen who are happy to fund their dream of having their own football club. Now, yes, the thing about the rest of the teams we always talk about the Man Cities, Chelseas, and maybe Arsenal, Man United. There are not many teams that got much money, and they have to look after their finances very, very tightly because player salaries are going through the roof, as everybody knows. The TV money is going up again. I think a new contract starts next season. I think it's going to be worth $3 billion to the Premier League. So yes, the money keeps rolling in, and people say if TV pulled the plug on football, would that create a huge problem? It would create a problem, but the fact of the matter is that TV needs football as much as football needs TV.
Yeah.
So when you purchase your rights to see Premiership games on the satellite channels, you buy about another 300 different programs as a package. If you didn't have Premiership football, nobody would buy those packages.
Yeah.
So the money for those companies is basically needed to come in only if they keep Premiership football. So it's a marriage that will work well as long as the finances keep rolling in, as long as people keep paying to watch satellite games. That shouldn't be a problem. But having said that, one of the biggest clubs in the UK, Rangers, obviously went down at the end of last season. They're having a huge problem with players and with what's going to happen next season and all that side of it. So yes, the danger is there. But as I said, clubs now have to keep a very, very tight ship. Tottenham, to be fair to Daniel Levy, the chairman, he's done a magnificent job financially at the club over the last few years. We've just brought in Sigurdsson, the Icelandic attacking midfield player. He was on loan at Swansea last year. He had a great season last year for Swansea. We bought him from Hoffenheim, so I think he could be a very important player for us. Vertonghen, the centre half, we've got him from Ajax. He was Ajax captain last year. Again, I think he's a very good signing for us.
Yeah,
but
wasn't happy about that one because he was penciled in for the Gunners at one stage. I was just saying, wasn't happy about the Vertonghen signing because I know his name was linked with the Gunners for quite a while.
Yeah, so we managed to pip them to that one. But as I say, it's that mad time of the season. Don't believe anything you're reading until you actually see a player has signed. Then say it's a complete whirlwind over here at the moment with players and speculation and rumours.
All right. Are Rangers starting the season having points docked, or is that still pending?
It's still pending. There were votes last week taken. The other clubs have to vote whether they want them in the Premier League and this and that. It's a very, very messy affair. They got players now wanting to sue the club. It's just as I said, there are a number of clubs that if they weren't looked after carefully this season, could find themselves in financial difficulties.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that Rangers have gone over, I think it's been a big wake-up call to virtually every other club in the country.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe why, yes, there have been a few chances, but no mega signings at the moment. I can't see any big signings happening from anyone outside the Man Cities and Chelsea of this world, really.
All right. I mean, what is it going to mean, just finally, for Scottish football if Rangers do get docked or even get put down a division? I mean, is there enough who's going to challenge Celtic in that case? I mean, if you're a Celtic supporter, you're probably sitting there, even as much as you dislike Rangers, you're sitting there going, well, I mean, how competitive is this league going to be? It's going to be it could be a death knell for the Scottish Premier League, because basically it's a two-team league.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a disaster. They need Rangers and Celtic in the Premier League. Main reason being is that all the games that they play against each other, whoever you are up there, if it's Hibernian playing Rangers, you'll get a full house, full capacity crowd. So yes, I mean, they need Rangers to be in the Premier League, and I'm sure everything is being done to try and make sure that's going to happen. But as I say, the votes are taking place. I'm not sure if they've actually have come out yet, but I haven't seen what exactly the finality of it's going to be. But fingers crossed they can get sorted out. They need Rangers, because otherwise a lot of the other clubs there could also find themselves in financial difficulty purely because they're not getting the big gates they would get against Rangers.
Yeah. All right, just a couple of final ones. Just explain the shirt. Looks like a Comrades related shirt there. Gary, is it? Or is it something in green we trust? What's that all about?
No, it's just again, it's just a shirt in green we trust. I'm again won't get too bored with you, but I've got a company that sports out a water.
Okay. I think Johnny was telling us about that. It's funny, as you were telling us about your company, our Skype froze, which isn't very cool. Gary, you still there? Oh damn, we lost him. I'm gonna ask him about the elephant at the back as well. All right, the elephant in the room.
Okay.
And where that came from? Obviously somewhere from South Africa, because he comes out here regularly, right?
Yeah, regularly, yes.
With the family here.
Yes.
Anyway, just SMS. There's Gary once again. Let's just quickly get him back on. Sorry about that, Gary. I don't know what happened there. Your Skype froze, and as you were telling us about the water company that you were working with, or that you run.
Yeah, I was working with the environmental agencies, the government. They actually want, any time a stadium is built, they want it to be as green and as environmentally friendly as possible. So I got involved in through that with Waterless car cleaning product. So my company we brought one out, and that's what we do. So there we go.
All right,
that's where the green part comes in. I know it's very boring, but you did ask the question.
Well, we were curious. And the other one is the elephant in the room. Which part of South Africa did you buy that?
I bought that at a lovely studio overlooking Hardebeer Sport Dam.
Really?
So it's a beautiful
I know exactly.
Elephant.
I know exactly
Bronze
which
elephant.
studio.
I've also got a bronze lions in front of me. Can you see?
We haven't got your camera on right now, but we saw
I haven't got the camera.
We saw it a little earlier. We saw it a little earlier on. I know exactly one. I think it's the one as you come to the T Junction. That's where I live, in that part of the world. So I've got some awesome statues.
It's there. It's a beautiful part of the world.
Absolutely. Gary, nice to chat to you, and thanks for giving us your view on what's going on over there transfer-wise, and all the best. We're looking forward to the start of the English Premier League in the next few weeks. So exciting times ahead. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you,
Absolute
Gary.
Pleasure.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on Ballz.co.za. Ballz.co.za.